right now. It's all what I'm saying. You know, NTS always sounds like town, like circus music. Like you never hear the official NTS. Funny stuff.
Which was your worst pool, eh?
My worst pool?
Yeah, I guess so.
Germiston? Germiston's pretty fun for me. Sponsor, terrible pool. It's starting blocks or cement blocks. Blocks, take one shot. There's no place to grab onto. It's literally like a cement stone. Good job. I think that was those are my two words.
He is my worst. I don't know, I hate that. I can never take something from that. I think it's because we used to go there like every second weekend. Yeah. Like some
Joe Harrison or Will? It's a fast pool as well. It's the most accurate pool in the city. Okay.
well, that's what I was told back then.
Sure.
They could put that indoor.
Wow. And then just drop the depth a little bit. You might show it on the website. Make it the same depth from the middle all the way through. That'll be fantastic. It's a nice facility.
What is it?
Just another call from the ladies. Gentlemen taking bottom into 101 and 102. That's our 15-meter match stroke. If you're not in March, please make your way down.
No, ruinous. No, dude, not anymore. The last time I was there, they closed the whole room from the boardwalk side. From the last seven shop all the way to the boardwalk side. Yeah.
I don't know that. I know they have a lot of sewage pools.
Testing.
All the time. Ah.
That's our absolute final call for the 15-meter match.
Yeah, put them on, and you can can put the receiver in your pocket, but if you put it on this side, it will
That'll work.
Testing. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome on school deck our officials for tonight. Also welcoming our first ladies to the lights. In heat number 1 and 4 we have Charlotte Jelly and 5 Not Spear and 6 Libby Alton.
Oh man.
You have to be in a shot. Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the 2022 Electric Eels Medals Gala. Hopefully it's going to be a good evening of racing. Hopefully you see some good fast times from the swimmers. What you got to say, Curtis?
I'm excited to see the races tonight. Alrighty, kicking it off with 50-meter backstroke. In heat 1, we've got waiting over there. In lane 4, Charlotte Jolly. In lane 5, Unata Sibia. In lane 6, Lily Cortan.
All three of these swimmers are entered on low times, so hopefully we see something spectacular from them for their first time swimming in the Gala. quite a nice atmosphere going. Decorations will come on very nicely.
Yeah. Got some decent trophies up for grabs tonight.
Okay, what trophies are there?
Some good looking medals, age group trophies from 15 and over down to 8 and under.
Okay,
Yeah.
great stuff. Is it for overall or
Yeah, the
how's it
points
gonna
you
be
get, the
working?
points you get throughout the gala.
Okay,
Yeah. Then you've got to partake in that IM as well.
okay,
Yeah.
good stuff. And is the individual medley still the criteria to make level 1, 2, and 3 galas?
Yes, actually, as far as I know, I think you have to get the time twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Not level 1, but I know from level 2 and up.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty, looks like the timekeepers are ready, judges are ready, starters are ready. Ah, looks like there is no lane 5.
A no-show in lane 5. Good
Decent
start, some nice
underwater
underwaters, yeah, looking good. Stroke rate is looking really nice as well. Very happy with that from Lily. Good turn. Let's see if she can keep the stroke rate through to the end. Okay, and that kicks off the gala with Heat 1 completed. Well done, ladies. So in lane 6 we got the big boss's daughter swimming. Let's go, Jen. So have any of your swimmers competing tonight?
Yeah, I've got 1 or 2. It's their first time in the gala as well, so
Okay.
a little bit nervous.
Nerves are
We'll
always
see how
good.
it goes. This whole heat has times, so this is not their first rodeo.
Let's see if we can get any PBs out of this race.
It's essentially you get high up in that backstroke starter.
It is. And also to get that head back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people I can see are bringing their head down and it doesn't enable them to get a good arch and kick out the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking pretty close on the first 25.
Lane 5 seems to be pulling ahead.
Lane 5, Aaron. Oh, with a long glide to the end.
important that at this last 5 meters from the flags to the wall that you don't move your head around and you trust that stroke count. Eh?
Definitely. And to ensure that you're counting your strokes from the flags to the wall so that you're not gliding in either.
Yeah.
Very
That's the
important
difference
training
between first and second.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, heat 2, done and dusted.
In lane 2 we got Cameron Cabral, lane 3 Mila Petrak, lane 4 Kendra Lightom, 5 Gabby van der Berg, 6 Michaela Matuni, 7 Jenna Bitgood, 8 Olivia Ward, and 9 Jessica Carl.
So with the backstroke starts, this ledge that they brought out a couple of years ago has made a huge difference in the way people are starting and the distance that they can get off the wall from the start.
Yeah. Also, it's that non-slip.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Very early lead there by Gabby, I think. Yeah, in lane 5, Gabby.
Very nice smooth stroke as well. It's looking good. Powerful turn, good underwaters. What a good finish. 33.92. What a good swim. Massive drop in time. 7-second PB, it looks like it. Well done, Gabby.
Alright, halfway in the 50-meter backstroke for the girls. On to heat 4. In lane 2 we got Christine Jackson, lane 3 Carly Palmer, lane 4 Natanya Komakach, lane 5 Isabella Reynolds, lane 6 Chloe Croft, lane 7 Caitlin Kennedy, lane 8 Margaret Nordia, and lane 9 Ashling McLean.
So are these mostly Lynn swimmers that are going to be swimming now in the next 2 heats, heat 4 and heat 5?
Yeah, got a few Aquafins here as well. Yeah.
And stuff to see other clubs.
Yeah. 1 or 2 of Cindy's as well, I think.
Good start from lane 5. Nice high body position on the start.
Nice underwater work as well.
Lane 2 is off to a rocketing start, taking the lead in the first 25. Nice quick turn, good underwater work. Let's see if she can hold it all the way through to finish.
Nice, very good swim from Christine.
Very nice one.
Last race, lane 5, Grace Morris, lane 6, Kirsty Cooper, lane 7, Olivia Kruger, lane 8, Sophie Lane, lane 9, Cassie Ricks.
So in lane 6 we've got one of our master swimmers competing now. We'll also be swimming in the relay later on in the evening.
50 meter backstroke.
Last heat. In lane 2 we got Kaylin White, lane 3 Romy Day, lane 4 Megan Shepherd, lane 5 Grace Morris, lane 6 Christy Kupfer, lane 7 Olivia Kruger, 8 Sohini Pillay, and lane 9 Casey Roos.
Very nice underwater work from lane 2.
Very nice. going to be a tight one.
A very close race. Our master swimmer is still in it, or slacking a little bit towards the end. The young guns just pipped at the end.
Event 1 and 2 boys, 50 meter back stroke to number 1. Getting ready to take to the pool. Lane 2, Christopher Colvin. Lane 3, Rowan Vessels. Lane 4, Rusa Corsi Shabalala. Lane 7, Crypto 1, Luca Bide. 8, G, Henry Guan. Lane 9, Michael Brady.
On to the first heat of the boys, 50 meter backstroke. In lane 2 we got Christopher Colton. Lane 3, Rowan Vessels. Lane 4, Musa Shabalala. Lane 5, Daniel Reeder. Lane 6, Dimitri Petishko. Lane 7, Katloana Kabinde. Lane 8, Penguan G. And lane 9, Michael Brady.
It's really nice to see galas like this happening again, post-COVID and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think the swimmers have been craving, after all the training and that they've been doing, to actually get that itch of racing out of their system for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting out away from the TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very important. This is possibly one of my least favorite events when I was still busy swimming though. Man,
You and me both.
backstroke was not my thing at all. I just couldn't get my arms round quick enough. No matter how much I tried, they just used to move so slowly. My dad said it looked like I was busy counting the clouds.
And we're off, first heat.
Very nice powerful strokes coming from lane 2. And he turns second. So watching these guys busy swimming, a very bad habit that I've been picking up on the swimming is that guys, when they start swimming the backstroke, they bounce a lot with their heads.
Yeah.
And to try and break that habit in training, it takes months of hard work to try and get rid of it. And sometimes it never actually disappears.
Yep. Yeah, that goes for any bad habits in swimming, actually.
Yes.
Race number 2, lane 2, all you. Lane 3, Bakawisa Zoki. Lane 4, Alex. Lane 5, Kevin Day. Kim Day. Lane 6, Thomas.
Okay, so that's heat 1 done. On to heat 2. Let's see if these guys better their times.
In lane 2 we have Arnold Argue. Lane 3, Pakamisa Zonke. Lane 4, Carl Evans. Lane 5, Kimmy Daly. Lane 6, Bart Rowley, Dorenstein Rowley. Lane 7, Troy Vessels. Lane 8, Declan Flynn. And lane 9, Callum Pepper.
So what was your main event when you were still back in the day swimming?
50 and 100 fly.
Okay.
And I sometimes did the 200 fly, but that wasn't so much fun.
Yeah. I don't know how a 200 fly could ever be fun.
The first time I ever swam it, I went there. The first 50, I went. The first 100, sorry, I went 103. And after that, I picked hard.
Yeah. It's like carrying a fridge on your back. It gets really, really tough. So later on this evening we've got the masters and one coach swimming against the athletes. So we'll see how that race is going to go. Hoping for the masters and coach side. I'll be partaking in that event.
I'll be rooting for the coaches.
Hopefully we'll be able to take it. I think it'll be a good race though.
Slow swimmer in lane 6. And lane 9. On to heat 3, lane 2 we got Sebastian Reinecker, lane 3 Benjamin Garb, lane 4 Cole Mostad, lane 5 Aidan Jones, lane 6 Mitchell Byrne, lane 7 Ryan Ward, lane 8 Kwame Ndegwa, and lane 9 Guy Vessels.
Very nice start from lane 6. But an even better underwater from lane 5. So a lot of people think with the backstroke, a high rotation on the arms, a quick frequency makes you go fast. But a lot of the time that actually ends up slowing you down because you're not pulling water all the way through and you're cutting your stroke short. So you have to find the sweet spot between high frequency and filling the water and putting power into each stroke.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got to make sure that kick is going as well.
Exactly. Not letting those hips drop.
Onto the final heat of the boys 50-meter backstroke. In lane 2 we got Joshua Gebhardt, lane 3 Adrian Harcourt Cook, lane 4 Braden DeCaris, lane 5 Reese Johnson, lane 6 Tali Roge, lane 7 Oren Rocha, lane 8 Christian Thomas, and lane 9 Adrian van Heerden.
Let's see if we can see any sub 30 swims in this race. That'll be great to see.
Maybe a few records can be broken here.
What is the current record standing at?
Doesn't say here.
Okay.
Yo, some coming out high in that start, eh?
That was a very high start. But you see I lost them on the time on the underwater though. It's about 1.5 meters back now.
Something very close to the lane road there.
Okay. Turning on about a 14.8. Alrighty. 28.88. That's not a bad swim at all. I think that's the first sub 30 that we've seen all night.
My correction, actually, that was Braden. Braden DeCaris won that one. Good work.
Very nice swim. Okay, so that concludes the backstroke for tonight. We're moving on to the first event of the breaststroke, 50-meter breaststroke for girls. So also on the diving blocks, this back fin that they've added as well has helped so many people with their starts, getting distance off the block, and with better reaction times as well, because you've got more on your feet to actually push yourself moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. All right, kicking off heat 1 of the 50-meter breaststroke for the girls. In lane 2 we got Unati Sibia, lane 3 Maya Ndegwa, lane 4 Jen van Hille, lane 5 Kendra Lightom, lane 6 Orange, lane 7 Nina van Hille.
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
I need to get frequency, but as soon as you start just spinning in the water with high frequency, you actually end up moving nowhere. Like we teach here, you need to glide. So even if it's a 0.8 to a 1 second glide on each stroke, you're moving quicker through the water because your body position is going to be much better than just going up and down with high frequency. Brilliant underwater from lane 4. Back when I was busy swimming, this is one event that I used to struggle to find speed with. I just couldn't get the right match between glide and frequency and that power. I think my limbs were too long.
It's a completely different race to the 100 breast.
Much different.
Yeah. On to heat 2, we have in lane 2 Ashley McLean, lane 3 Natanya Komakech, lane 4 Cameron Cabral, lane 5 Sohini Pillay, lane 6 Kaylin White, lane 7 Jessica Carver, lane 8 Paris Shiwund Lana, and lane 9 Cameron Thornton.
So I think we're just busy waiting for the marshals to clear the time board. A little bit of a technical difficulty at the moment. Okay, and this is heat 2 of the ladies 50-meter breaststroke. So with the breaststroke, it's also very important to try and get that head down as quick as you can to get yourself back into a good streamlined position, instead of keeping your head up, because then you're breaking your streamline with the top of your head. Lane 6 seems to be doing a very good job of that. Coming in and touching on a 37.59. Very well done.
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
Caleb Werter, lane 3. Olivia Ward, lane 4, Tatum Cabral, lane 5, Grace Morris, lane 6, Casey Roos, lane 7, Mila Petrak, lane 8, Christine Jackson, and lane 9, Erin Haslam.
I wonder when we're going to be seeing some new technology coming out with racing suits and that kind of stuff for both the men and the women. Not much has changed in the past 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. The last change it was from those full body suits.
Exactly.
Just the...
And when they took those full body suits away, so many people were scared that world records wouldn't be able to be broken.
Yeah.
And more have been broken now in the time frame of them being taken away. I think it's because people are more free, because those things used to restrict the shoulders and stuff so much more. They were ridiculously tight.
And the science in training is increasing as well.
Yes, a huge amount. Training, nutrition, gym work, land training.
Our next race is number 4, lane 2, Colin Palmer, lane 3, Chloe Grant, lane 4, Olivia Kruger, lane 5, Megan Shepherd, lane 6, Gabrielle McMahon, lane 7, Beth Reynolds, lane 8, Ronnie Day, lane 9, Jenna Badu, and up next is lane 5-4, boys, 50 metres breaststroke.
On to the final heat of the 50 meter breaststroke for the girls. In lane 2 we've got Carly Palmer, lane 3 Chloe Kraft, lane 4 Olivia Kruger, lane 5 Megan Shepherd, lane 6 Gabriella van der Berg, lane 7 Isabella Reynolds, lane 8 Romy Day, and in lane 9 Jenna Bidgood.
So what was your favorite suit to race in when you were still swimming?
I just had those standard arena, you know, you got the orange ones, the blue
Yes.
ones, the grey ones, the black ones.
The Carbon Pro.
Carbon Pro, that's
Yeah.
the name,
Yeah, those are good costumes, man.
yeah. I've still got one Carbon Pro suit that's still going, actually.
Alright,
Yeah, from 2012.
sure. Yeah, I was a Speedo fan through and through.
Is it?
Yeah, the LZR was my baby.
Oh, nice.
Especially for the 200 breaststroke. It just had the right amount of flex and leeway without strangling your legs. Because on a 200 you don't want those legs to be starved of oxygen, because then they end up not making it all the way through, you know?
Yeah. Did they really restrict the kick here?
They do, big time.
Okay.
In the 50 and 100 you can get away with it. But, yeah, that 200, it gets tiresome.
On to the boys 50 meter breaststroke. In lane 1 we have Christopher Coltam. No, sorry, lane 4 Christopher Coltam, lane 5 Samuel de Klerk, and lane 6 Adriaan van Heerden.
And of course, last call for the ladies, they can go to 50 fly. So next to the 50 fly, ladies, please make your way to Marshall.
Yeah, so just a big shout out to all the coaches and staff that helped decorate this facility throughout the day. I know it took quite a bit of time. It was about 4 hours of decorating, right?
4 hours, yes.
Yeah, and that was just setting everything up, yeah. That doesn't go into the man hours actually creating all the decorations, because that took a lot of time. I know.
A few late nights. Yes.
Yeah, Tracy even
Very
had
late
her
nights.
dad behind the sewing machine.
Yes.
So it was all hands on deck, with going to bed at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I think they did a pretty good job.
Some more no times here. It'll be good to get them on the database.
nice start from lane 4. Getting that back leg up, also very important on the start, to try and kick that back leg up as high as you can, because that brings your whole body into a nice, good position without slapping the feet on the entry.
Without that good dive, you won't get that good underwater.
Yeah. Capture those times of that race. Unfortunately, the time board wasn't working there, so we couldn't even see what their times were from another time.
On to heat 2. In lane 2 we got Pengwan G, lane 3 Katloana Nkabinde, lane 4 Matthew Phelps, one of our master swimmers, in lane 5 Rebov Misra, lane 6 Dimitri Petrushko, lane 7 Cole Mostad, lane 8 Gar Vessels, and lane 9 Michael Brady, another master swimmer. No, corrected. It's not a master swimmer in lane 9.
Who do we have in lane 4 for our master swimmer?
Matthew Phelps.
Alrighty.
It'll stand down there.
Okay, just getting a little bit of help from the starting marshal for our swimmer in lane 3, just so he doesn't slip off the block. Yeah, just a side note, always get those toes over the front of the block so that
Get a nice
you know you're not going to be slipping off. Our master swimmer is off to an early lead. So we've actually got a master's program here at Eels in the Wahoo Aquatics Centre.
A pretty big one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we recently just won the nationals as well.
Oh, great stuff. I didn't know that.
Oh, and master swimmer takes it.
Coming in on a 39.54.
On to heat 3. In lane 2 we got Musa Shabalala Mayo. In lane 3 we Declan Flynn. Lane 4 Troy Vessels. Lane 5 Bart Dorothy Rowley. Lane 6 Carl Evans. Lane 7 Callan Pepper. Lane 8 Daniel Reeder. And lane 9 Pakamisa Zonke. I must say we've seen no leg slapping yet or arm slapping.
The Michael Phelps arm swing.
Yeah.
Parents have always asked, why do people do that? But it's what they call a pre-race ritual. So it gets you into the mindset of, okay, waking your body up, I need a race now.
Yeah.
Just getting yourself alive, you know?
Yeah. Just psych yourself up there.
Exactly. glad to see that we haven't had any of the Michael Phelps, Chad the Close stare downs and laser beams coming out of the eyes with any of the swimmers here. So it's all good friendly rivalry on this side.
Yeah. Which Olympics was that, eh?
2016.
2016, yeah. I remember that. On to heat 4. In lane 2 we got Benjamin Garb, lane 3 Adovin Kalan, lane 4 Adish Misra, lane 5 Braden DeCaris, lane 6 Rowan Vessels, lane 7 Ryan Ward, lane 8 Kimi Daly, and lane 9 Kwame Ndegwa.
Shout out to the timekeepers tonight as well. Could be many other things that you could be doing on a Friday night.
Yes.
So thanks to all of them for being out tonight, helping us out.
Being a timekeeper in COVID, it brings a whole different meaning actually now, because it means you can watch your kids swim.
Exactly. So you almost want to sign up. When back in the day, people would like,
Beats
it
around
was
the
the
bush.
dreaded thing to do at a gala because you had to be there the entire time.
Exactly.
Okay, so in lane 4 we've got a swimmer. I used to swim with him a few years ago. He went over to the States and studied there, competed for the university for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he's now one of our master swimmers.
exactly. Yeah.
Alright, last heat. In lane 2 we got Sebastian Reinecker, lane 3 Oren Rocher, lane 4 Brady Rothschild, lane 5 Tali Njagore, lane 6 Mitchell Bowen, lane 7 Reese Johnson, lane 8 Christian Thomas, and lane 9 Joshua Gebhardt.
Yeah, I think once the swimming bug bites you, there's no getting away from it. Eh?
Yeah.
You'll always, even if you're not competing to the highest standard anymore, you'll always want to climb in and just do a couple of lengths.
Yeah.
And when you do race again, it just brings back all those memories from the days where you used to go flat out.
And it's almost like you pick up from where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fitness might be lacking, but your feel for the water never really
Never
goes
leaves.
away.
Like riding a bicycle. Good race from Tali there, who also went to study in the States.
Okay,
Back now on vacation.
that was a pretty good swim from, who was that, in lane 5?
From Tali.
29.4.
First race, one lane for Charlotte Jolie, lane 5, Marty Cynthia, lane 6, Cameron Cabral.
So serious.
It's a serious job we've got here.
On to the girls 50 meter butterfly. Heat 1 in lane 4, Charlotte Jolie. Lane 5, Onata Sabia. And lane 6, Cameron Cabral. 50 butterfly, eh? The best one.
Yeah. This one should be done, no breathing as well, except for on the turn.
Yeah, turn the breath on the turn, and maybe just before the flags.
Yeah, and to just keep that head down, especially from the flags to the wall.
Yeah.
Very important.
Make sure your hips are going.
Yeah. Not
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
if my stroke count is off, then I know where I am, so I can add a stroke or take a longer glide or something like that,
Yeah.
and hit the wall. Perfect timing every time.
And that's a good habit to teach to them from young as well.
Definitely.
Make sure they're always counting their strokes.
Yes. I think it's a little bit easier though for the slower rate strokes, like butterfly and breaststroke, to instill that from them at a young age.
Yeah, freestyle might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Let's keep count.
And on the fly, to keep your head down on that first stroke as well.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
to break and take your first breath. You need to keep your head down for at least 2 strokes.
Last goal for the boys taking part in the 50-meter butterfly in the arms marching list.
Yeah, no, 38.49 for lane 6.
The problem with lifting your head up every stroke is that your hips sink so much, and you've got to use extra energy to get them back up into that body position.
Yeah. A lot of speed in swimming comes down to body position. If your body position is right, you'll move so much easier through the water without having to fight yourself.
Yeah. And your head creates so much resistance you just actually don't realize.
Exactly.
On to heat 2. In lane 3 we have Mila Petrak, lane 4 Cameron Thornton, lane 5 Olivia Ward, lane 6 Paris Shiwun Lana, lane 7 Kendra Lightom, and lane 8 Aria Naidu.
So something very important to try and practice as well, especially in training every lesson, is when you're coming in for your turn on butterfly and breaststroke, to have your hands as equal as possible, not to have them
One
down.
above the other, yeah.
Because if they are one below the other, a lot of the time people end up getting disqualified for that at galas, because the judges can't always see that bottom hand. So they think, I'm only touching with one hand. So to try and draw that into the kids at a young age, touch 2 hands just at the water surface.
On to heat 3 we have in lane 2 Aisling McLean, lane 3 Erin Haslam, lane 4 Michaela Matuni, lane 5 Jessica Carver, lane 6 Gabriella van der Berg, lane 7 Christine Jackson, lane 8 Maya Ndegwa, and lane 9 Caitlin Kennedy.
So after this, we're going over to the 50-meter freestyle.
Yeah. Coming back to that hands being at the same level when you touch, you've got to make sure that when you're in training as well, that you always touch it with 2 hands.
Exactly. It's a
bad habit if you touch with one. What you do in training is you always end up doing it in racing.
Yep. And the only way to fix that is repetition.
Repetition, repetition, repetition.
100%. Yeah, good job from lane 6, winning in a 32.72. Oh, and there was a one-handed touch in lane 5 right now. One-handed touch on the finish.
You know I can find mine.
He was sitting there earlier.
We'll be here tomorrow for the prize giving. I've got your shirts and everything. I wanted to give them today, but you can leave it with me and I'll give it to you if you want. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. The event starts at 1 till 4 tomorrow, right? I'll be here before 12. I'll be here. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to heat 4. The girls, 50-meter butterfly.
In lane 2 we have Sohini Pillay, lane 3 Natanya Komakech, lane 4 Isabella Reynolds, lane 5 Tatum Cabral, lane 6 Olivia Kruger, lane 7 Amy Lee Tome, lane 8 Kayla Botha, and lane 9 Jenna Bitgood. Seems like one of the back pieces on lane 7 have come out there.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do an adjustment, but they're battling to get it back into the holes. Little love tap there. Didn't seem to work.
Tim to the rescue.
What are you two doing? Just sitting back?
Okay, and we are ready for heat 4 of the girls 50-meter butterfly. Brilliant start from lane 6, nice and quick off the blocks. Well, with any starts really, you want to try and get your reaction times to about a 0.65 of a second from when the buzzer goes to completely off the blocks. That's considered as a really good reaction time. Hey, and there we go, winning in a time of 30.31. That was a good swim.
Just found out from Cheryl now that Sully broke his breaststroke record at the Electric Eels Gala.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Went from a 30.35 to a 29.4.
Oh, wonderful. So that must have been his first time going sub 30.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Training in the States.
Yeah. I can remember that feeling. Breaking 30 seconds in the breaststroke, man, it was a great feeling.
And we're on to the final heat for the girls 50-meter butterfly. In lane 2 we have Casey Ruiz, lane 3. In lane 3 we have Kaylin White, lane 4 Romy Day, lane 5 Megan Shepherd, lane 6 Grace Morris, lane 7 Chloe Graaf, lane 8 Carly Palmer, and lane 9 Margaret Nordia.
Nice quick start and underwater from lane 3. Oh, it's going to be a tight race between lane 3 and lane 4. Lane 4 seems to be edging out. Lane 3 still hasn't given up yet. Oh, very close race. Lane 3 takes it in a time of 30.66.
Moving on to the boys, 50-meter butterfly, we have in lane 4 Christopher Coltam, in lane 5 Peng Wanji, and in lane 6 Michael Brady. So on the starts, do you suggest, I see some of the swimmers they pull down and then some pull back. Which one would you say is the better start?
So from my experience, the best start is to not bend your arms at all and not move backwards. So you want to basically keep your chest line in line with where the block is. And because as soon as you start pulling back, yeah,
you got to
so first get the block. Same thing. Actually straight arms, tensing up as hard as you can with your chest on the block and keeping the hips up as high as possible. Right? Yes. And with that helps keep
Results for the 50-meter breaststroke. The girls 13 and 14, third place, Rachel Gala. Second place, Grace Morris. First place, Gabriella Back. For a final time of 35.59. In third place, Chloe Graaf. Second place, Robbie Day. And in first place, Evelyn Krieger with a final time of 36.09. Boys 13 to 14. Third place, Benjamin Garth. Second place, Adrian van Gierden. And in first place, Christian Thomas. And lastly, the boys 15 and over. Third place, Brady Rothschild. Second place, Mitchell Bone. And in first place with a new record time, Tony Garoki with his final time of 29.40.
you finish, because that's where a race can be won or lost.
absolutely.
And there's been a few experiences like that, especially at the Olympics, where you're dealing with 0.01 of a second. If one guy decides I'm pushing through, one guy decides I'm going to slack off, that's where it's lost or won. But that doesn't just go for the finishers, it goes for your turns as well. Every turn, you need to hit the wall as hard as you can and use that momentum to get off as quick as you can.
Yeah. In lane 2 we have Katluana and Kabinde, lane 3 Cole Morstead, lane 4 Dimitri Petrishko, lane 5 Rebov Misra, lane 6 Pakamisa Zonke, lane 7 Matthew Phelps, and lane 8 Musa Shamalana Mayo.
Have a look at that program quickly. all the relays be done at the end of the entire gala? So
Yeah, after the last heat of 200 IM.
okay.
Yeah. On to heat 3 of 5, we've got Kellen Pepper in lane 2, Kimmy Daly in lane 3, Bart Dorenstein Rowley in lane 4, Troy Vessels in 5, Arnold Argue in 6, Carl Evans in 7, Daniel Reeder in 8, and Adish Misra in 9.
So the young man that broke the 50-meter breaststroke record, do you know which university he's swimming at in the States?
I'm actually not sure.
All right. Well, regardless, it's always good exposure racing up there because the frequency with which you're racing is so much higher than what you are. Yeah, and that exposure is just, it's unbeatable, man.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than race time. You can train and train and train. Yeah, so we've got lane 7 in the lead at the moment. Let's see if he keeps his head down for the finish. Hey, what a strong finish. I think it's going to be a good relay tonight between the masters and the students. We're going to enjoy that one.
On to heat 4. In lane 2 we got Benjamin Garb, lane 3 Kwame Ndegwa, lane 4 Sebastian Reinecker, lane 5 Ryan Ward, lane 6 Braden DeCaris, lane 7 Christian Thomas, lane 8 Adrian van Heerden, and lane 9 Rowan Wessels.
I think one of the least exciting jobs that you can have at a gala like this is probably being a turns judge.
Oh, yes.
Especially when the days get long and you start doing turns judge for 800 and 1.5 and those long distance events. Man, that must be the worst thing under the sun. At least with the 50 galas, they go quickly, man.
Yeah. Just a reminder to all the parents that the results are updating on Meet Mobile, so you can stay up to date with the gala through the app.
Okay, so top 2 there, finished in the sub 30.
On to the final heat, heat 5 of 5, in lane 2 Mitchell Byrne, lane 3 Reese Johnson, lane 4 Talian Jagore, lane 5 Aidan Jones, lane 6 Adrian Harcourt Cook, lane 7 Joshua Gebhardt, lane 8 Oren Rocha, and lane 9 Guy Vessels.
He's got a little bit of a discrepancy now with touching 2 hands that we spoke about earlier. Very important to make sure every touch, every turn, touching 2 hands for the breaststroke and the butterfly.
Just got to make sure that touch is visible for all the judges.
Yes. What a close.
What a race. What a race.
First place 26.98. Second place 27.28.
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
This is the final 50 meter of the evening,
All right.
and then we're on to the 200 IM.
Sure. That event used to burn every single time, no matter how hard you train. Always. That freestyle was my downfall.
The breaststroke was mine, eh? That third length and that breaststroke, yo.
My breaststroke was my saving grace.
Yeah.
Man, as a 200 breaststroker, I just used to go long, nice, easy glides, and that saved me so many times from coming last. Didn't often win, but I definitely didn't come last, so I was happy with that.
The breaststroker always has the upper hand in the 200 IM.
Yeah, but then we always fall so far behind in the backstroke. So to try and catch in the breaststroke, that's like, you know, it gets close sometimes.
Yeah, I guess,
you know?
I guess.
But I think we do have a little bit of an edge because a lot of the time the breaststroke is where people really struggle, because to get a good glide and to feel that burn, it's like the third 50 of a 200 breaststroke feels exactly the same in a 200 IM.
Yep.
So we're used to that, but to try and bring it home in the freestyle, that was always, man, my legs, it looked like I had sandbags connected to my feet. My hips would drop and then I would just struggle, like tugboat all the way through to the end.
On to heat 2 of the freestyle. We have in lane 2 Jen Van Hille, lane 3 Cameron Thornton, lane 4 Cameron Cabral, lane 5 Jessica Carver, lane 6 Paris Shiwandlana, lane 7 Nina van Willig, lane 8 Caitlin Kennedy, and lane 9 Kendra Lighton.
So one thing that I've always been teaching my kids now and trying to instill is as soon as you get onto the block, you need to be in a ready position. Which means not going down, because I've been watching now, you need to be ready. If that buzzer goes and you're on your bum is on your back heel, you're at a deficit there. So as soon as you get onto the block, you need to be in that ready position, not necessarily 10 stop yet, but ready, bum up, arms in the right position, chest at that block line.
I like standing up straight, so they say take your marks and then you bend down. Don't even get your hips onto your ankles at all.
Exactly. I tried that standing a couple of times, like waiting for them to blow the whistle, but we had a few starters that were really like in a rush, so they'd be like, you wouldn't even have enough time to get down into your right position and like get comfortable. You know, sometimes you need to settle in a little bit on the block, especially if you're new to that block. So I always just say, get down, get into your starting position, make sure that you're ready. Because sometimes the starters will be, take your marks, go. Sometimes it'll be, take your marks, couple of seconds, and then they hit that buzzer.
In lane 2 we have Jenna Bidgood, lane 3 Mila Petrak, lane 4 Aisling McLean, lane 5 Christine Jackson, lane 6 Erin Haslam, lane 7 Caleb Witter, lane 8 Olivia Ward, and lane 9 Amy Lee Tolman.
This always used to be a head-down hole race.
Only breathe when you really need to.
Not even. You push through to the end. Let the lungs burn. Let the arms burn.
Yeah, every time you go down over 50-meter free, you just have to sit for a few seconds.
Exactly.
Catch your breath. Then you can carry on. On to heat 4 of 5. In lane 2 we have Sohini Pillay, lane 3 Margaret Nordier, lane 4 Casey Ruiz, lane 5 Tatum Cabral, lane 6 Carly Palmer, lane 7 Isabella Reynolds, lane 8 Latanya Komakech, and lane 9 Maya Ndegwa.
Talking about starts and dives and that kind of stuff. When I went to 2016 Olympics, I was there with Brad Tandy, and when he swam the 50-meter freestyle, he was the first person to 25 meters in the entire heat, in the final. And they've been analyzing his start, and the way he gets back, he actually uses his arms. He comes over, instead of coming from here and into a streamline, his arms come all the way over. And a funny story, I think it was Commonwealth Games, he was entered for 50-meter breaststroke, and he did his start, but he dislocated his shoulder on the start.
Oh, yes.
Luckily it did pop itself back in, but
In the swim.
in the swim.
Yeah.
So on that movement, he actually popped the shoulder out.
Oh, wow.
But in the analyzing, he was the perfect example of getting that back leg up and arching the back while you're in the air and spotting the place where you want to land, and then getting into a nice good streamline, getting through one hole on the entry.
On to heat 5. In lane 2 we have Chloe Craft. Lane 3 we've got Christy Kupfer. Lane 4 Kaylin White. Lane 5 Olivia Kruger. Lane 6 Grace Morris. Lane 7 Megan Shepherd. Lane 8 Romy Day. And lane 9 Gabriella van der Berg.
First place coming in on a 27 low. Very nice swim, ladies.
Onto the boys 50-meter freestyle in heat 1, lane 3, Makana Harilal, lane 4, Samuel de Klerk, lane 5, Katluana Nkabinde, lane 6, Michael Brady, lane 7, Pingwan Ji, and lane 8, Christopher Colton.
No, it's really good to see all the swimmers basically taking part in all the events as well. You know, not just swimming,
Not just
what
focusing
their
on
favorite one
stroke,
is. Yeah. Because that broad spectrum development throughout all the strokes it's important, because otherwise your body starts favoring, okay, for breaststroke and butterfly, the chest and that, and then the shoulders start getting round. So to actually open up backstroke and freestyle, get the shoulders moving as well, it's good to see. Good reaction time from lane 4.
Also, to get that trophy, you've got to make sure you compete in every single event of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't always have to come first in every single event, but at least I reckon maybe what, top 2? Hopefully top 2 in each event.
Top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
I see a lot of grabbing the top of the wall instead of just having a flat hand.
Yeah, you always want to try and touch on the surface of the water. That's the best place to finish.
On to heat 2. In lane 2 we have Rebuff Misra, lane 3 Declan Flynn, lane 4 Carl Evans, lane 5 Daniel Reeder, lane 6 Pakamisa Zonke, lane 7 Callan Pepper, lane 8 Dimitri Petrushko, and lane 9 Matthew Phipps.
When I was still swimming, we used to try and go for the brightest possible colors in our costumes. We would have pink and orange, the brightest neon orange you can ever imagine.
I remember having an orange one as well.
But now it looks like they're going more towards the multicolor
Patterns.
Wow. So stroke-wise on the freestyle, especially for a 50, you want to try and keep those arms as straight as possible to speed up your frequency in the stroke, and also not to come in. If you're bending your arm, a lot of the time the kids will come in right down next to their head and then they cut their stroke short. You want to try and get a long reach, so coming out with a straight arm all the way around, and then using that every little bit of water that you can to grab.
Lane 2, Paul, lane 3, Usami Kosuzawa, lane 4, Gala, lane 5, Gala, lane 6, Adishi Misra, lane 5, lane 8, lane 9,
On to heat 3. In lane 2 we have Arnold Agu, lane 3 Musa Shabalalamayo, lane 4 Adavan Kalan. In lane 5, Guy Vessels, lane 6, Adish Misra, lane 7, Bart Dorenstein Rowley, lane 8, Troy Vessels, and lane 9, Kimmy Daly. Got to be careful in that underwater work that you don't get trapped down, not going too deep, getting just the perfect position, just so that you can break out as strong as possible.
Yes. Because you basically want to come up at one level, so not coming up sharp like this, because then you're going to resistance hitting you the whole time. You want to come up from one level, from your head to your feet. Exactly.
next race, number 4, lane 2, Vessels, lane 3, lane 4, World Horses, lane 5, Oran Russia, lane 6, Mitchell Blow, lane 7, Robbie, Dewa, lane 8, Benjamin Gala, lane 9,
On to heat 4 of 5. We are in lane 2, Rowan Vessels, lane 3, Sebastian Reinecker, lane 4, Cole Mostert, lane 5, Oren Rocha, lane 6, Mitchell Bowen, lane 7, Kwame Ndegwa, lane 8, Benjamin Garb, and lane 9, Adriaan van Heerden.
No longer on TV. I think the battery's gone. And especially on the underwater, you want to try and keep yourself as streamlined as possible, locking those hands in and really squeezing those elbows against the head, you know?
Nice and tight.
Exactly. Okay, 26.95 from lane 6. That's not a bad slope. Lane 6, we have got the 50-meter breaststroke record holder. Let's see if we can pull something out for the freestyle.
And we're off to the final heat of the boys 50-meter freestyle. In lane 2, Aiden Jones, lane 3, Adrian Harcourt Cook, lane 4, Braden DeCaris, lane 5, Reese Johnson, lane 6, Talian Jagore, lane 7, Ryan Ward, lane 8, Joshua Gebhardt, and lane 9, Christian Thomas.
Another big lead there for the 50, 24, 55. Not a bad swim at all. Okay, and that concludes the 50s for this evening. Now on to the longer event, 200 meter individual medley.
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
The disqualifications come from that back to breast turn because they can get tricky, especially if you're doing the flip turn. They misjudge it, and if they don't touch the wall first, that's a disqualification. And if they're doing the half turn, you need to make sure that you don't pass that 90 degree, because then they consider you being on your stomach, and that's also considered disqualification. You cannot turn onto the stomach for the back to breast.
I think most of us here at Electric Eels do that backflip.
Yeah, straight into the breast, yeah. But even on the open turn, as soon as you're coming over onto the side like that, you cannot turn over onto past that 90 degree, because otherwise they...
So you got to make sure you perfect that one.
Exactly. I used to battle with the backflip one. I just used to feel I didn't have enough air in me to do a proper breaststroke underwater after that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're having a 5-minute interval. I think it's just for the timekeepers to go have a little bit of a water break.
Yeah.
In 200 meter IM ladies, followed by boys, then our fun little medley relay. So we please get all officials back to their stations on full deck. Let's go.
Okay, and we're back. Starting off with the first heat, ladies, 200 meter individual medley. It's 50 meters butterfly, 50 meters backstroke, 50 breaststroke, and 50 freestyle.
In lane 4 we have Charlotte Jolly, and in lane 5 Emily Tolmay.
It's really important to pace yourself in this event.
Yeah,
because
you gotta
a
make
lot of
sure.
people want to bang it hard in that fly because you feel good on the first 50 or the first 25.
Yeah.
But then it starts catching up to you as soon as you start that second 25 in the backstroke, man. Especially short course, all the underwater work,
Yeah.
it gets tough.
Yeah, that really does. So I say about that breaststroke, you often exhausted.
Yeah, so there's an open turn. She was nice flat on her back. She could have gotten a little bit more to the 90. Okay, and there's that backflip.
That backflip.
There we go. So the backflip definitely is quicker than the open turn.
Yeah.
Because you've got more momentum. Because as soon as you're doing that, the open turn, you're touching, you're breaking your momentum, and then you have to come forward
Direction,
again.
yeah.
Exactly.
Now you're just catching that wave off the wall. Going.
Yeah. Oh, that was almost an oopsie in lane 4. Nice flat turn.
That's the last 50.
This is when everything starts to burn.
Yes.
Your arms start getting heavy, the legs don't want to work anymore. And the lungs are just gasping for that air, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I would usually swim the 2 that I had to qualify, and then that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it wasn't an event that I chose to enter in, ever.
Yeah, it's always
It was
one of
always
those
a
that are
force.
On its race to continue, leading to Canberra, Lighton. Lane 3, Peyton Kennedy. Lane 4, Jessica Gala. Lane 4, Ashley King. Lane 6, Henry Witter. Lane 7, Olivia Ward. Lane 8, Maya Deborah. Lane 9, Ariane Nayu.
On to Heat 2. In Lane 2 we have Kendra Lightom. Lane 3, Caitlin Kennedy. Lane 4, Jessica Carver. Lane 5, Ashling McLean. Lane 6, Kayla Buerta. Lane 7, Olivia Ward. Lane 8, Maya Ndegwa. And Lane 9, Aria Naidu.
See, so that's what we were talking about earlier, that very quick start. So there was barely a pause between take your marks and that buzzer going off. So that's how you always need to make sure that you're ready. As soon as your feet hit that block, you need to be in a ready position.
So would you reckon breathing every arm in the butterfly and the 200 IM makes you more tired? Or should you stick to breathing every second arm?
I reckon breathing every second.
Yeah,
because you got more momentum and more,
Less
you're in a
breaking
bit of a
off the
rhythm with breathing every second stroke.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to train it a little bit more because you're going to want to breathe more often.
Yeah.
But your efficiency through the stroke is higher, I believe.
I believe
if
that
you're
too.
doing every second stroke.
Yeah, for sure. Got to make sure you're keeping your body position as straight as possible.
Yes.
Every time you're taking that breath, you're breaking that body position, making yourself more tired.
Exactly. So on the butterfly turns and the breaststroke turns, you also don't want to break your momentum. So a lot of the time, like when you see the backstroke to breaststroke turn where they're doing that open turn, you want to hit the wall and be as small as possible. So bringing your knees into the chest, basically on like a pole movement. So if you're coming in, you want to bring those knees in and not turn and get side, like broadside on, because then you're getting a lot of resistance in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
And also coming up on the turn, so touching and then coming up and then going back. You want to hit, stay flat as you can to get off the wall as soon as possible.
Again, it's all about that, the legs dropping on that turn. The higher you come out, the more your legs are going to drop.
Exactly. One of my favorite events to swim though was the 100 IM.
Oh,
That was an all-out sprint. There was no pacing, nothing.
Yeah.
Fly, max, backstroke, as fast as you can. Breaststroke, high frequency, get it done. And then that freestyle, man. Try and go, no breathing, last 25, bang it out.
And it's just the right amount to not believe you've broken it in.
Exactly. But just always a nice, close race.
Yeah.
I think the worst event to ever swim is probably the 400 on individual medley.
I never tried that.
I did it once and it was a combined race. So there was boys and girls swimming. I came dead last against girls. But I had no shame in doing that because I knew this is not my event. I did not train for it.
On to Heat 3, in Lane 2, Michaela Matuni, Lane 3, Christine Jackson, Lane 4, Sohini Pillay, Lane 5, Casey Ruiz, Lane 6, Margaret Nordia, Lane 7, Natanya Komakic, Lane 8, Erin Haslam, and Lane 9, Mila Petra. You can really tell 200 IM is the most disliked event, and so we've had quite a few no-shows.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't blame them. Yeah. That's a really nice stroke. Long glide. Distance per stroke from that in lane 3. Who is that swimming in lane 3?
Lane 3 is Sohini Pillay.
Alright, that's looking good. Very nice butterfly, especially for a longer distance.
No, Lane 3 is Christine Jackson, sorry. I was looking at Lane 4.
Okay. Christine Jackson. Even on the backstroke, nice, good distance per stroke.
Smooth.
Yes. No, it was always a funny thing to see. You'll get people that swim incredibly fast without looking like they're doing much work. It's just smooth, easy feeling for the water.
Yeah.
Perfect example of that was Miles Brown. He was, man, when you used to see him swim, he would swim a 400 freestyle and it looked like a 10K stroke rate. But he would go sub 4 minutes, like I think it's something like a 3:47-ish, right about there. But the easiest stroke rate, it was amazing to watch.
And was it more a 6-beat kick or a 2-4-beat kick?
4-beat, yeah. Very, very slow, very relaxed. But just that feeling for the water, you either get it or you don't get it. Yeah, like this girl in lane 3, she looks like she's got that same feeling for the water. It doesn't look like she's trying too hard, but she's moving fast through the water.
Yeah. I must say, she made this 200 IM look very easy.
Very easy. And that's not easy to do. No.
At this point where we would be hugging the lane rope, just broken.
The leg's no longer working,
Can barely breathe.
Yeah. blotting out the goggles with the tears.
That's a good way to keep it from anti-fogging, you know.
So this is last heat of the girls.
Last heat of the
200 meter
girls.
individual medley.
Time races today before the front race and the boys IM.
In the final heats we have in lane 2 Chloe Graaf, lane 3 Romy Day, lane 4 Olivia Kruger, lane 5 Megan Shepherd, lane 6 Grace Morris, lane 7 Gabriella van der Berg, lane 8 Kaylin White, and lane 9 Isabella Reynolds.
Hey, brilliant start from lane 6. So nice and smooth, getting that back leg up and entering through one hole in the water. Very important, like a lot of the time, to try and get your feet to stop from slapping the water, because that creates a bubble around the legs and slows you down a lot. So to try and enter through one hole, it just, man, it will take you a long way, especially in the shorter distances.
As little splash as possible when you're going in.
Exactly. So especially with an event like this, it's not always the fastest person that wins. I think it was Adam Peter that said it, it's not the fastest person that wins, it's the person who slows down the least.
Through each 50, yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to keep that same pace from 1 to 3, 4.
And to try and keep your splits very close together.
Yeah.
So obviously your butterfly will normally be fast because you got your start as your help. But your backstroke, breaststroke needs to be very, very close. And then your freestyle and butterfly are also close, very close times.
Nice long glide in that breaststroke, yeah.
Yes. So with the breaststroke, you also don't want to dive in every stroke that you take. You want to try and keep it flat. Because as soon as you dive and come back up, that's
Going down,
waste of time.
coming back up.
Yeah,
You want to stay close to the surface of the water.
exactly. So not diving down with the hands, actually extending forward. Yeah. Very close finish between lane, who's that? Lane 6 and lane 8. Oi, lane 8 just pips it at the end.
Kaylin White and Grace Morris.
Good race, ladies. Okay,
And that wraps up the girls 200 IM.
alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go change, go and get ready for the coaches and masters relay.
Good luck.
Let's see if we can give these youngsters a go for their money.
I'm sure you will. On to the first heats of the boys 200 IM. In lane 3 we have Makana Harilal, lane 4 Michael Brady, lane 5 Musa Shabalala-Mayo, lane 6 Katluana Nkabinde, lane 7 Pengwangji, and lane 8 Bart Darnstein Rowley. We are joined by Mark now. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Curtis. Late minute call up here. I don't know what Jared's going to expect to do in the next 6 minutes. Anyway, let's see what he does. Oh, so parents, if you're at home, sitting on the couch having a beer, girls are finished with the IM. On to the boys. We will have a nice fun relay at the end, so you can watch that and then jump in your car. Right, so I'm joined with Izzy Reynolds here. Izzy finished up for the day?
Yep. All finished, excited to go home.
Sure. So we're down to the final, is this the final heat now? Next up?
Yeah. The final heat of the boys will be going in now. Most exciting race in my opinion. It's all very fast.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Seem to have a range of ages here.
Yeah, so we've got Josh Gerbart in lane 2. Right, so I'm just going to give those to you again. We've got Josh in lane 2, Adrian Harcourt in lane 4, Reese Johnson in lane 5, Tully and Njoroge in lane 6, Mitchell Bone in lane 7, we've got Brady in lane 8 and Braden DeCarris in lane 9.
So 325.
The rain's coming down quite hard here. technical difficulties.
Nice little bit of suspense before the final race. Just had a little technicality. I think we had a timekeeper start a stopwatch by mistake. Back up. Right, and we're off. Tilly looking really strong. Tilly having had a really good season overseas. His first year out in the States.
I can only imagine how difficult the training is over there and how much effort they put in.
Yeah, I believe you kind of sell your soul to the university.
Yeah, definitely.
But he says he's really enjoying it. That's Braden DeCarris out in lane 9. That's a surprise.
The backstroke, it's insane. Let's see if he can hold it.
Iron's always about the breaststroke.
Thule will take it, that is. It's always been his part of the race, the 50 breaststroke.
The breaststroke is starting to come back now. We've got Brody out there in lane 8 as well.
Mitch not too far behind, chasing.
Yeah. Mitch and Reese fighting it out here. But Tully's got this comfortably.
Thule really having a great race here. Super far out in front of
Jared
everyone.
Cross walking past us, looking like he's in the zone.
I wouldn't be surprised if they could hear the music in the water.
Yeah, Scott giving you a good tonk here. That's Tully in on a 2:15. Hayden having a really good swim out there in lane 9.
Breeze coming back with that freestyle.
Alright, that's it.
We're now done with the final races. We'll be moving on to the mixed relay now, just as a time passer. It will be quite interesting, some senior swimmers versus the not so senior swimmers.
For runners who demand more, the all-new Cloud Stratus.
advantage. Some swimmers a lot more pedantic with where they want the legs than others. Vibes are great, lots of smiles on the deck this evening. So fun to see and to get to do.
And of course, it's also a massive thank you going out to each and every single official that helped us out tonight. I think so much of this makes some noise to our officials. Come on. So next on menu relay, followed by our award ceremony. So don't forget tomorrow afternoon.
All the backstrokers getting ready to start.
Once again.
Romy Day in lane 3, Graydon in lane 4, Grace in lane 5. I'll have to apologize that I do not know who's in lane 6. And Octofin's in lane 7 and Kwame in lane 8, all getting ready to race. Starting off with the backstroke. And they're off. Lots of cheers, sweets here. Looks like a very tight race here. Red in lane 4, slightly ahead, but Grace and Romy not far behind. More is Aquafin. Oh my goodness. Breaststroke diving in now. Tuli and Mitch really having it out there. Tuli touching, Mitch touching. Lane 5 touching. Ooh, lane 5's coming to take it. Sorry, lane 6 coming to take it. The seniors there. Butterfly going in. Super exciting. Super close at the moment between the senior team and the senior boys team.